Okay, yo, what's up, guys? All right, so I'm gonna go through another one of these with you. I think this is the best way to do it. Hopefully, some of the explanations I do at the beginning help you kind of work through the rest of these, through the rest of the playground, because obviously I only go up to a certain point. So go ahead, read through this first page. We're talking about types, okay? So read this first page when you're ready. Come join me on the second page here. So we're going to talk about types. So in Swift, every value has a type. Just like types of things in everyday life, each type in Swift has its own set of properties and behaviors. So you've already worked with two different types of values. Strings like hello and Wimbledon, and numbers like 101 and -10. So examples here, and we're going to run our code, is we have let string equal I am a string, and then we notice that we have the ABC next to here, and it prints out I am a string. Let number equal 12, notice you have a number 1, 2, 3, and that pops out a 12, okay? Now you've also seen that types behave differently. What happens when, for example, you add them together? So 1 plus 1 equals 2, obviously, but if you add 1 plus 1 as a string, it's going to equal 11. Okay, because once you're adding it as a string, strings are different than integers. So the name of a string type in Swift is, conveniently enough, string. The name of the number type you've been using is int, an abbreviation of integer. Also notice the capitalization, int, capital I. An int value is a whole number with no fractions. Okay, an int can be a positive, a negative, or 0. Okay, and then the rest of this is talking about how you've only been introduced to two types, but there are multiple types of things that go on in coding. So this is another page. I kind of want you to just read through this. I don't think you need me reading this to you. So read through the favorite shirt and kind of get the idea of what that means. Okay. So types and variables. The first time you assign a value to a variable, the variable's type automatically becomes the type of the value. From then on, Swift keeps track of the type of the variable and make sure you don't accidentally try to assign a value of a different type. Uncomment the line below to try to set favorite thing to the value of 42. Okay, so when we run the code right now, it's only going to do whiskers on kittens, right? Now, if we try to update favorite thing to a number, we're going to get an error. And it says cannot assign value type of int to type of string. Okay. Now, for the exercise, what the error basically means is that you've already assigned this line up here as a string. You cannot change it to an integer. All right. It has to be a string again. And that's basically what that error means. So the exercise, update the above line with the error so that the variable can be updated. How do you write a string instead of an int? Okay, obviously very simple. We're going to put a quotation mark here, put a quotation mark here, run my code, and now favorite thing can be updated as 42. Okay, moving on to the next page. Okay, and this is, I think, the last page I'm going to go through with you guys. I am going to just do a brief thing at the end to show you the assignment that you need to turn in. So experiment. Okay, so let's talk about type safety. You saw that trying to assign the wrong type of a value to a variable caused an error. In fact, Swift won't let you write code that uses two types incorrectly or unexpectedly. This is called type safety and prevents you from making all sorts of errors in your code. Another instance of type safety would occur if you tried to add values of different types. So uncomment each line and examine the error it produces. You'll need to uncomment one line at a time because the playground will stop at the first error it sees. Okay, so let's uncomment this, run our code, and we're going to get this error. Binary operator plus cannot be applied to operands of type and string. Okay? Essentially, this means is you can't add a string and an integer together. Okay? If you wanted this to say banana 1, you're going to do the same thing that we did in the last exercise, and it's going to be to add the quotation marks, okay? Because this doesn't work. And this doesn't like to work for me at all. Okay, all right. Now here, we're going to uncomment the line, and we're going to try to add, and it's going to kind of give us the same thing, cannot apply operands of type int and string. So obviously the first one, it's not going to work. So in this case, what we would do is we would get rid of that and make it work so that they're both integers, okay? Or vice versa, depending on what you're trying to do, okay? So you're going to get these type of errors, okay, of type int and string, of type int and float, of type int and double, string and double. So you just got to make sure that each variable is matched up. So if it's a string and you're adding a string, they both need to be strings. If you're trying to add two integers together, they both need to be two integers, okay? So down here it says write some incorrect addition statements before you want to try in each line. Now finally, when we get to the exercise, so make sure that you've read through everything else. Now this is kind of a long read. You're just going to have to kind of go through it, okay? But once you get to the exercise, what you are going to do is it says write a program to calculate the circumference of a circle with a diameter of 2. Create a constant to hold the diameter. What type will the constant need to be? Okay. Let pi is already there. So you need to create let diameter equal 2. And then you are going to create the circumference. So let circumference equal, and then I think you guys can get it. Pi times diameter, and then you need to fix the error when it shows up, okay? This is as far as I'm going to go. You need to figure out. If you can't, you need to go back and look at this stuff. This page here, okay, will most likely give you the best possible answer when you're talking about you can't mix and match double and ints, okay? So you need to match, and you need to make sure that they work, okay? If you have any questions, just go ahead and email me. Have a good one.